You know, sometimes it feels like being smart is more of a curse than a blessing. You see things other people miss. You feel things others ignore. And the more awake you become, the harder it is to stay calm in a world that runs on noise, lies, and comfort. There are nights when you sit in silence, not because you want to, but because there's no one you can really talk to. You scroll, you think, you analyze, and somehow the smarter you get, the emptier it feels. I've been there. I've seen people fall apart because they couldn't unsee the truth. I've seen intelligence turn into loneliness and self-awareness turn into self-doubt. But I've also learned something powerful. Being broken isn't a weakness. It's a stage of transformation. So if you feel misunderstood, disconnected, or too awake for this world, this is for you. Let's talk about why smart people often feel broken and how to turn that pain into power. You ever feel like your mind just won't shut up? Like you see things other people ignore, and the more you notice, the heavier it gets? I've been there. I've sat in rooms full of people smiling and laughing, and yet I could feel the tension under it, the fake politeness, the quiet jealousy, the hidden motives. And I remember thinking, why do I see all this? Why can't I just relax like everyone else? That's the curse of awareness. When you're intelligent, you don't just live, you observe. You see the tone that changes, the lie in someone's eyes, the insecurity behind confidence. And that awareness can eat you alive. Because once you see the truth behind people's masks, you can't ever unsee it. Robert Greene once wrote, "The truth is cold, and few want to touch it." He was right. But smart people, we can't help touching it. We live in contact with that coldness every single day. And sometimes, that's what makes us feel broken. Not because we're weak, but because we see too much. You ever notice how surface level everything feels lately? People talk, but they don't say anything. They post quotes about strength, but fall apart at the first sign of discomfort. And when you try to go deeper, they call you too serious or too intense. I've had that all my life. People saying, "You overthink too much," as if thinking is a sin. But here's what I learned. Your depth isn't a curse. It's a filter. It keeps shallow people out and meaningful ones in. The problem is, most intelligent people try to fit in. They pretend they don't care. They fake smiles. They play dumb just to be accepted. And that's what breaks them. You don't heal by shrinking. You heal by embracing your depth. By realizing that thinking deeply in a shallow world is an act of rebellion. Let me tell you something personal. There was a time when my own thoughts turned against me. I could predict everything. People's moves, outcomes, betrayals. And it made me paranoid. I saw danger in every opportunity. Machiavelli once said, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, few can touch." Meaning, we often live in illusions, and intelligence breaks those illusions. But here's the danger. When you see through everything, you start trusting nothing. Overthinking is the enemy of peace. It's like having a sword so sharp that you end up cutting yourself with it. That's what happens to smart people. Their mind becomes their own worst enemy. The trick isn't to stop thinking. It's to train it. Use your mind as a weapon, not a wound. Let it protect you, not torture you. You ever feel like nobody really gets you? Like you're surrounded by people but still feel alone? Yeah, me too. And it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because you see things others can't. You crave conversations that go beyond gossip. People who actually think, souls that can handle silence. But the truth is, most can't. You start realizing that your mind goes places theirs never will. And that's okay. Not everyone is built to walk through fire. I learned to stop expecting people to understand me. Not out of arrogance, but out of peace. You can't teach depth to those who fear drowning. Machiavelli would say, "A wise man must learn to act foolish among fools." Sometimes you need to play the game. Smile, nod, but keep your real thoughts for yourself. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. I used to apologize for who I am, for asking too many questions, for being too intense, for seeing through people, until I realized I wasn't too much. They were just too little. If you're intelligent, you've probably been told to lighten up, to relax, or to not think so hard. But that's just the world trying to make you smaller. Because your mind threatens the comfort of mediocrity. Society doesn't want thinkers. It wants followers. It doesn't want creators. It wants consumers. And every time you question something, you become a danger to the system. You're not broken. You're awake. And that scares people who are still asleep. Now, let's talk about something most smart people never learn. Balance. I used to live completely in my mind, analyzing every move, every emotion, every word. It made me smart, but miserable. Then I realized, intelligence without grounding is poison. You need to balance logic with instinct. Think like a philosopher, but move like a warrior. Robert Greene said something powerful. Master your emotions, or they will master you. Use your awareness, but don't drown in it. Observe people, but don't judge them. Recognize manipulation, but don't hate the world for it. You don't have to fix everyone. You just need to understand how to move among them. That's what real strategy looks like. There was a moment in my life when I realized something simple but life-changing. Pain doesn't leave you. It teaches you how to move. I used to fight my pain, resist it, deny it, until I realized it was the greatest teacher I ever had. You can let your intelligence destroy you, or you can let it refine you. Learn to detach. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every truth needs to be fought for, and not every lie needs to be corrected. Machiavelli would say, "Never waste power where it earns you nothing." That's wisdom. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop trying to explain your depth to those living on the surface. The more you explain, the less they'll understand. Protect your peace. That's the highest form of intelligence. So let me tell you this. As someone who's lived through it, you're not broken. You're just awake. You've been fighting your own mind because it doesn't fit the noise of the world. You think too much. You feel too much. And that makes you different. But it doesn't make you wrong. Once you stop apologizing for your depth, you'll start using it. You'll learn that not every scar is damage. Some are reminders of growth. That what you call broken is actually your transformation. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to understand, and to use that understanding to build something stronger. So don't hide from your mind. Train it, shape it, control it. Because once your intelligence serves your peace instead of your pain, you'll finally feel whole. And when they call you broken, smile, because what they really mean is you see what they can't.